everyone, so just a little bit about myself. My name is Lizzie. I post 3 videos a week on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Sunday, and they're usually just beauty related. They're more like testing videos. I don't really do challenges or anything like that, or unboxing videos. So if those videos intrigue you and hauls, please like and subscribe down below, because in this video we're going to be testing, it is an old collaboration because she's come out with a new one, but I feel like because it was on offer on the Revolution's website that I should just try it, and then that will make me see whether I buy the new one. And it is again another Revolution collaboration, and this is with Nath, which is, well, her name is Natalia, but she puts like, I think Nath is like a nickname. So it's with the Revolution Pro line. So she has a eyeshadow palette and a face palette. So we're going to test out the face palette first. I did have a sneak peek, and I'm just not sure whether there will be like a bronzer shade for me. So we're going to try that out and see what we can find. So the packaging of the face palette just looks like this. It's a lovely pale pink shade. It has on the back what there is. So it says it looks like 2 bronzers at the top, a highlight, a blush looking shade, and another highlight here. I think it's kind of a universal palette. So again, it has the ingredients on the back, and it's called a contour and highlight palette. Now, I don't contour. I've said this a few times in my video. I hate contouring. I feel like it just makes my skin look muddy. So I will test it out, but I might be a little bit biased just because I'm not a contour type person, but hopefully I find a shade in here that I like. So the palette is quite different to Revolution's palettes. Again, it's in this lovely pink packaging, but it's in like this cut out cardboard looking box, and then inside there's no mirror or anything. It has all the shades. So you've got the 2 bronzers. So this looks like an actual blush shade, so I'll try that out. This looks like it's just like an under eye powder, which I won't be testing out today, sadly, because I've already powdered. I didn't know there was a powder in here. And then the 2 highlights at the bottom. So it's actually quite a neat little palette, and these originally are £10, but at the moment they keep going on offer for 5. So by the time you're watching this video, I'm hoping it is still on offer for £5, because I just love a good deal. And then on the back you've got, again, the same as the box. So if you were to throw the box out, it wouldn't matter because it's all on the back of the packaging. And I really like it. It's very thick though, like it is quite a hard cardboard type packaging, very sharp on the edges, which is different packaging for Revolution. However, this is like the Revolution Pro range, so it would be different to their normal Revolution range. So first what I'm going to do is live swatch for you. So I'm going to take the bronzer, which is called Desert, and then there's another little marble bronzer next to it called Paradise. And again, this is Desert and this is Paradise. Oh, Paradise is a little bit lighter. It's more, I reckon I could get away with them. So one of my studio lights keeps crashing. You might hear it. So yeah, that was Desert, that was Paradise. So I'm going to try one of them. And I think I'm going to go for the darker shade because it doesn't look too bad on the swatch. So I'm going to try that first. I'm going to use a brush that I love, which is my Nancy contouring brush. It looks like this. I've tried and tested this for years, so I feel like it's going to give me the best overall look. I'm so sorry if it's gone darker in here. One of my studio lights is just not working, so we're just going to have to make do with this light for now, and I'm just going to have to buy a new studio light, which is fine. It's not too bad. It's just my normal softbox lighting. So at the moment it's just my ring light that I'm using, so it's not as bright as I'd want it to be, but tell me what you think of the lighting. So like I said, I'm going to dip into this shade Desert, which is the darker shade. Must admit, it is a little bit smaller than my brush, and this is like a small contour brush, one of the smallest ones I've used. So I'm a bit, oh, There is a lot of fallout, which is fine. Just dust it off. It's very dark on camera, but in real life it's blending in really well to my skin, which I like. Thin out contours and bronzers on camera because it just looks so harsh, and it's really not that harsh. It has diffused really nicely into my skin. I think to make it look better I have to do my forehead, so we're going to try that. This is so dark, like on camera. Looks patchy, but it's not. Like, it looks really nice on the skin. I'm hoping, just because I'm using the viewfinder, I'm hoping that when I edit this video, I'll probably have something written somewhere that it doesn't look as bad as looking in the viewfinder. I like it. I think if I was to go to my brother and say, does anything look different about my makeup, he probably wouldn't even notice. So if he don't notice, I feel like it looks alright. So the next thing to try is this blush called Darling, and I'm going to swatch it for you. I love swatching things. It is just a lovely peach shade. No shimmer that I can tell, just a nice little sheen to it. So we're going to try that. Very, very pigmented. Okay, it's just looking like a highlighter. I don't know if you can tell, but can you see that? It literally, it didn't look like this on my hand. So it's more of like a blush topper than it is a blush. And I'm using a blush brush, and yeah, actually you can see when it hits the light it goes a bit icier. So not for me, sadly. And I'm not a big fan of the pan sizes. It's just because they're not realistic for brushes that you're using. So I think now we're going to go in with highlight, and this shade is Sweetheart and this shade is Amira. So this is Sweetheart and this is Amira. So Sweetheart is more gold and Amira is a bit more like a pinky icy tone. And of course I'm going to go for Sweetheart because I just love a golden glow. I think this is why I never really try different base products, because once you find what works for your skin, you kind of stick to it, and this is just not working for my skin. The highlight, amazing, I would use that highlight again and again, but the rest of it is just like I think I'm moving around too much, but maybe just to do this, just to melt it into my skin a bit. Okay, overall I'm not a big fan of this product just because the bronzers are not too bad, but I'm finding it not as good as the bronzers I've used previously, especially my Hoola and my MUA Bronze Matte Perfection bronzers, all-time favourite bronzers, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. I would use it again, don't get me wrong, but it's just not doing it as well for me at the moment. The blush, definite no-no, it didn't work for me. The highlight, a definite yes. I think out of everything, the highlight is something I would definitely use again from this palette. It's a lovely like baked looking highlight. It actually reminds me of a highlight from the Soph palette, but I just don't think I'll be reaching for this as often. So we're going to move on to the eyeshadow palette. I'm a bit excited for that because I love testing out new eyeshadow palettes. And it's in this lovely like burgundy red shade, which I like. And again, it's just this plain packaging, Revolution Pro, her name. And then it has the shades on the back with the ingredients. Oh, they actually say that they're cruelty free and vegan, which is quite good. So yeah, it's got £15 and they each are 1.10 grams if you're interested in that. Again, the price was £10. But I waited for it to go on offer for £5. So I'm just going to start with the back because I noticed straight away it's not the same as the box. So the box is actually it has the colours, whereas the back on this one doesn't, so it's a little bit different. That's the only thing. They've got the ingredients on there. It's got everything on there, even like the cruelty free and vegan. It's just the shades are not on the back of the actual box. And the front is exactly the same as the palette, except it's just red. And then look at the shades. Let's give you a close-up. So this is a close-up of the palette. I like this style of packaging because it's different. I just wish this would stay up a little bit more stiffer, because when you're dipping into things it just keeps closing. But I really love it. It's a lovely neutral palette with a lot of like transition shades and then not many shimmers. There's literally 5 shimmers, and this is a £15 palette. So 10 mattes to 5 shimmers is a brilliant ratio. I feel like you can get more out of the mattes than you can with the shimmers, and I love the fact that there's like a nice purple shade and a burgundy shade here, so you've got an option, but it is a lovely neutral palette. And then you've got this nice little coral transition shade. So yeah, we're going to live swatch these now. So I'll start with the first row, and the first shade is called Classy. This shade is Classy, which is just a nice gold shimmer shade. And you have Radiant and Sand. Oh, you can barely see Sand. It's like the same shade as my arm. They're very soft to like swatch. This is Superb, Sketch and Lovely. Very nice shades. You see the pop of colour for that transition shade. Then you've got Mesmerize, Striking, Mystery. Mesmerize is not... It's a lovely like pink with gold reflex. I do like that. And I do like the other ones. Not as pigmented as some like normal Revolution, and this is meant to be the Revolution Pro range. Then we've got Darling, Satin, Era. That is a really good black, a very good black. There's a lot of fallout as I'm going down. We've got Choice, Blend, Blend, which I've got some black on, and Espresso. They're alright, they're not the best, like, I don't know if I've not swatched them well, but they're just not the best swatches ever. Yeah, the shimmers aren't as shimmery as some of their shimmers have been, but it's a very soft palette to swatch, which is nice. I'm just gonna wipe some of this off. The black was very pigmented. I'm really impressed with the black. There is like a greenish tinge to it, but the black was really nice to swatch. Just like cleaning it off. So again, there's no mirror, so I'm gonna have to like maybe have a big mirror up while I'm testing this. And we're gonna start with like a fluffy brush, and I feel like starting with the shade Lovely. It's a lovely transition shade, and it's called Lovely. Be a nice neutral eye. I feel like I'm doing a lot of neutrals at the moment just because I haven't in a long while. And that little went a long way. It's not patchy. It is blending out seamlessly. Like, it's a lovely shade. Then taking the same brush, I feel like I want to go in with this shade called Blend at the bottom. And just keep that in the crease. To darken it up. And what I'll do is get a clean brush and just blend them out. Only a slight difference, but you can see the gradient. Then with a smaller brush, I want to go in with this shade here called Satin. I just want to keep that on the outer corner here. As you can see, I haven't done my eyebrows, so it looks so weird. And then for the lid, I want to go in. I'm going to do a gold. I haven't done a gold in ages with Sketch. Not the most pigmented. Let me actually zoom you in a little bit. Like you saw, I had to use more patting motion, wiping. That's how best to use this palette. It's like you really have to build it up, and the palette keeps closing. It's so annoying. So for the bottom lash line, I'm literally just gonna go in with this shade here called Satin. I feel like just the one shade will be quite nice. And then for inner corner and brow bone highlight, I'm going to go in with this shade here called Classy. Wow, I like that. It kind of like ties in with the highlight in the other palette. Now that the eyes are basically complete, I'm going to go off camera, put my mascara on, put my put my mascara on, put my eyebrows on, and we'll be back to test some lips out. So at the beginning of the video, I said that Nath or Natalia had a second collection out with Revolution Pro, and in that collection are some lipsticks. Now these were £5 each, I believe, and I have swatched these in a little haul that I did not so long ago, and I was thinking there's a cherry, blackberry and biscuit shade. So yeah, let's open them up. So the packaging just looks like this. It is like a nice peach shade. It's more like satin here and matte here, and then when you open it you get the shade. So that is the cherry colour. I feel like the cherry colour would go with this look. They're very matte. Wow. This is the blackberry colour. Reminds me of I think Diva by MAC. This is Biscuit. Biscuit, I feel like is the shade for me, but then so is the red one, the cherry shade. I feel like because this is such a neutral look, I could go with any shade. So I just used a Gigi Hadid lip liner in the shade, I can never care. It's just this lip liner, it's a twistable one. And I think we're going to go with Cherry, just because I think a red will really set this off. So overall, I do like the eyeshadow palette. It's a perfect neutrals palette. Too keen on the base palette, the highlight and contour palette. Love the highlight. It's just not really, it was more the blush, I think. I think the contour wasn't too bad. It was more bronzier for me. It wasn't like, usually I get like a muddy kind of line, and it didn't go muddy at all, so I really did like it. It was just the blush just didn't really suit me, and plus it was more highlightery than it was blush. So again, it is called a highlight and contour palette, but it did look like a blush. So yeah, I do like the collection. I do think wait for it to go on sale, because most of Revolution stuff does go on sale. And paying like £20 for the whole eyeshadow and base palette is just a little bit too much in my eyes. The lipstick though, it is so matte. I just need a darker lip liner to really match it. And she did have some like lip liner and eyeliner duos, but I didn't buy them. But I think I might, just to see if it matches the lipstick, because I'm in love with this lipstick. It looks amazing. I can't stop looking in the viewfinder. And it really complements the look a bit. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed filming it. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time for some more reviews. Bye guys.